Good morning and welcome to Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. Of course, I am your regular host, Nkamiang John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial. Today on the show, we will bring you up to speed with some major developments that made the rounds in the last 24 hours thereabout, with our focus on the tax reform bills, which the House of Representatives passed for second reading just barely 24 hours ago. And I think if you've been following the news headlines, the front pages of the newspapers this morning, you will know that that story is one of the big stories making the round. But before we get into all of that, as always, I just want to remind you that the show is live and interactive on all our social media platforms, and you can be part of the conversation simply by following and liking Rapid TV on all our social media handles. And don't forget, we are at Official Rapid TV, at Official Rapid TV. We are streaming live on our website, www.rbnradiotv.com. And of course, our WhatsApp portal is also live and active, so you can take advantage of the WhatsApp portal. 0916 771 6035, 0916 771 6035. That's the number of our WhatsApp portal, so you can also be part of the conversation this morning as we bring you up to speed with developments that definitely will interest you in the last 24 hours. Now, it's no news. Yesterday, as it has always happened, Nigerians just noticed that there was an absence of power. Power went. In typical fashion, most Nigerians just assumed that, well, they'll bring it back. But guess what? The national electricity grid collapsed yesterday, Wednesday, before noon, causing widespread outrage across the country. In fact, microblog X, formerly known as Twitter, buzzed yesterday when news broke about the collapse of the national grid. Major electricity distribution companies confirmed the incident, which occurred at about 11:34 a.m. yesterday, Wednesday. Now, this is the first grid collapse of 2025, following 12 failures in the previous year, 2024. Now, experts and stakeholders continue to call for reforms, including decentralization and digital solutions to improve power stability in Africa's largest economy, Africa's greatest black nation. Well, the blackout sparked frustration on social media, as I highlighted earlier, with users criticizing the frequent failures and unclear communication from authorities with regards to the collapse of the grid. Now, many called for urgent actions to address the country's electricity challenges. And of course, you will know that on several editions of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero, we've engaged some energy experts, even looked at alternative energies, and of course delved into the talk of off-grid solar options, which even the government is proposing and even has begun to invest in. Of course, we hear that there are counterpart fundings from all over the world to support Nigeria's energy needs and Nigeria's quest to be able to supply regular, frequent, stable, consistent power across board. So the options are out there, but the authorities are taking their time, going through the options to see what works in the short term and definitely what will work in the long term. But we cannot run away from the fact that in recent times, especially under the advent of the Tinubu-led administration, there's a high level of vandalization and vandalism of power infrastructure across the country. And that has contributed to worsening the state of power distribution across the country and, of course, power supply. Now, also in the last 24 hours, one of the biggest conversation is the fact that one of the stories, the big stories that's made the round, in fact, even on our morning show, Cynthia and Ugo touched a bit on it, the fact that the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, after a Central Working Committee, CWC meeting held in Lokoja, Kogi State, vowed to embark on a nationwide protest if telecommunications companies failed to reverse the recently implemented 50% tariff hike. Now, recently implemented because even though reports suggested that that implementation will not take place until the 1st of March, which is just a few days away, well, news broke that some of the telcos had already begun to implement the 50% tariff hike ahead of March, surprisingly. Well, the NLC condemned the tariff increase as a betrayal of trust and an affront to negotiation principles, saying that the increment disregards an earlier agreement which it reached with the federal government and the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. Now, as part of its resistance strategy, the NLC has directed Nigerian workers and willing citizens to, guess what, boycott the services of telcos daily between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. from February 13, today, until the end of the month of February. So let me re-echo the question Cynthia Agbo, posed on our morning show, Rapid Dawn, this morning. Will Nigerians do it? Can Nigerians do it? I think the most posing question is, will Nigerians do it? Because, I mean, the largest cell phone market in Black Africa, as of closing stages of 2024 going into 2025, we understand that the numbers suggest that more smartphone users in Nigeria had moved from about 48% to about 72%. And you want them not to use data, not to make calls? Tough call as far as the NLC is concerned. Well, anyway, the Congress of the NLC also urged citizens to suspend data purchase from these telco providers, or which is accused of exploiting Nigerians. Furthermore, the NLC has demanded the repatriation of funds siphoned out of Nigeria by these companies. Of course, none of these companies is truly owned by Nigeria. Some have some semblance of Nigerian ownership, but they're not truly owned by Nigeria. So, of course, which just opposes the position of the NLC that money, what we refer to as capital flight, is happening in the telecommunications sector. Well, February 29, 2025 is the deadline that the NLC has issued for a tariff reversal, and the failure to comply, it has warned that it would lead to a total nationwide shutdown of telcos services starting from March 1st, 2025. The NLC has also directed its state councils and affiliate unions to begin mass sensitization and mobilization of their members and the general public. Of course, it called on civil society organizations and stakeholders to join the movement against what it described as an exploitative tariff regime that benefits the rich at the expense of the ordinary Nigerian. In addition to the telecom tariff issue, the Central Working Committee deliberated on the proposed tax bill, which also forms the core of this morning's conversation on the show, which is currently under government consideration, while acknowledging the need for fiscal adjustments in terms of policy. The NLC insists that any new tax policy must not impose additional hardship on workers. Now, it pledged to engage relevant stakeholders to ensure that tax reforms are fair, transparent, and just. Now, before we get to the subject of the tax reform bills. Let's also let you know that beyond the proposed NLC protest, the House of Representatives also has loaned their voices to the development and called on the federal government to suspend the proposed increase in telecommunications tariff until service delivery improves. Now, Honorable Obuku Ofogi, representing Yenagua Okpokuma Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State, moved the motion, which was unanimously adopted. He has urged the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, and the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to halt the planned tariff hike. Let's hear from Honorable Ofugi.
Mr. Speaker, the House note that speaking after the stakeholders meeting with the mobile telecommunication operator in Abuja on Wednesday, the 18th of January 2025, the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, disclosed that the telecommunication tariff will soon increase. The House also noted that according to the Minister, consultations are ongoing as there have been agitation from some of these companies to increase tariff to as high as 100%. He, however, said it will not be an 100% increase and that the Nigerian Communication Commission will approve the new tariff and announce them in due course. The House further note that the argument of the telecommunication company for the hike include the cost of investment, better networks, increasing demand for digital service across sectors such as education, banking, and healthcare, among others. The House is aware that the telecommunication company have been advocating for the hike for the last 11 years. According to the Association of Lancet Telecom Operator of Nigeria, ALTON, and the Association of Telecommunication Company of Nigeria, ATCON, they argued that the telcos need cost-reflective tariff in the face of adverse economic reality like a record inflation of 34.6% in November 2024 and losses resulting from foreign exchange fluctuation. Mr. Speaker, the House is worried that the National Association of Telecoms subscribers have rejected the proposed increase in tariff, describing it as insensitive and a further burden on the consumer already grappling with economic hardship and poor network service delivery. It is imperative that the telecommunication company improve on their service delivery, poor network, which Nigeria have been yearning for in years before embarking on the increase in tariff. The House is also worried, Mr. Speaker, that far-reaching effect of the price hike will deepen financial struggle for the average Nigerian, threatening the economic vision of leveraging technology to drive economic revival, exacerbate poverty, and widen existing inequality, hitting lower-income families the hardest. Affordable connectivity is a must for progress in critical sectors like digital banking, education, healthcare, agriculture, and e-governance. Informal sector workers who depend on affordable mobile data to access gig work opportunities may find it harder to stay connected. Mr. Speaker, the House is saddened that those small businesses which rely heavily on affordable telecommunication operation, marketing, and customer engagement will face additional financial burden. Imagine a scenario where a 10% increase is approved. It is estimated that a 10% increase in telecommunication cost will reduce small businesses' profitability up to 7%, potentially leading to closure of businesses. Mr. Speaker, the House resolved urge the Minister of Communication...
Honorable Jimmy Benson, can you be attentive, please?
The House resolve urge the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy and Nigerian Communication Commission to suspend the impending hike in telecommunication tariffs until their service improves. Mandate the Committee on Telecommunication to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, my revered colleagues,
subject of the proposed tariff hike, Honorable Billy Osawaru, who seconded the motion after Honorable Ofugi, echoed a lot of concerns, stating that, harping particularly on the poor quality of telecommunication services, and that it doesn't justify a tariff increase. Now, following a voice vote presided over by Speaker Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, the motion was unanimously supported by lawmakers. It was subsequently referred to the House Committee on Telecommunications for further legislative action. But let's hear from Honorable Billy Osawuru.
Ofoji Oboku. Mr. Speaker, we are the people's representative. How come everything that goes wrong in this country, the Nigerian people will have to suffer for it? Mr. Speaker, not too long ago, we had the electricity tariff. Now, it's telecom tariff. Mr. Speaker, we are here to speak for the people. Yes, I don't think our people will be mad about any tariff or any taxes if what they are being used for is being seen by the Nigerian people. The same telecom we are talking about right now, they are not at their best. You want to increase tariff? Yes, all over the world, even in the developed society, they pay for the services that they enjoy. But the services must be at par. The services must be something the Nigerian people will enjoy. You can't be paying for something you don't enjoy. You will agree with me that services in the telecom industry right now is not at its best. In Nigeria, you have to carry more than one phone. For what reason? So that if the network on one is not good, you have to use the other. Mr. Speaker, I stayed a long time in the developed society. We don't carry more than one phone. Even here in Nigeria, it's so difficult for me to cultivate that habit of carrying more than one phone. Why? Because in Nigeria, we let everything go. Even when they don't give us the services we pay for, we still let them have their way. Mr. Speaker, we are speaking again for our people. We are not saying tariffs should not be brought in, but not now. Let the telecom industry tell our people, let them show to us that what the people should be paying for is being given to them. So, Mr. Speaker, I think at this point, this should wait. This should wait, and don't let Nigerian people go through this hardship one more time. This is a very bad timing. Having said that, I rise to second this all-important motion, ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Oboku Ofoji. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Now, this development reflects growing concerns over the affordability and quality. I think that should be the emphasis. Affordability and quality for telecommunication services in Nigeria, as well as the need to balance the interest of the consumers and, of course, the interest of the service providers, on the other hand. The House resolution underscores the importance of prioritizing service improvement before imposing additional financial burdens on Nigerians. Other honorable members also shared their position on the proposed increase in telecommunications tariff. Let's get to hear from the likes of Honorable Dominic and a host of others who also loaned their voice to the tariff on telecommunications.
My name remains Honorable Engineer Dominic Ifeanyi, and I speak for Nigerians starting from Korero constituency in Anambra State, including the performing governor of that state, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, whom I also represent. I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, a lot have been said on this tax reform bill. A lot of honorable colleagues have spoken very intelligently. Let me use the opportunity to commend all of us on the matured manner that we have conducted ourselves, comparing the first day that this bill was presented to us. Let me, on the same time, in order not to repeat what my honorable members have actually said, let me join my voice to commend our speaker for his maturity in conducting this house and for the ample time he also gave us to consult widely with our constituents so that we are not rushed, as if our opinions do not matter. And finally, I wish to implore all of us to join in ensuring that this bill passes the second reading. Thank you.
Sum up to say that this bill is, in as much as we need reforms, there are certain things and areas that we need to look at. We are a federating unit, but most of these bills are against our federation. As we know, PE is a state tax, but this bill is taken over. And these bills specifically also goes against the provision of Section 162 and paragraph 32 of the first schedule by observing the functions and duties of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. And this is a serious infringement that has to be looked into. Also, Section 75 gives the President unlimited powers. And this is dangerous in this our climate, and it has to be defined clearly. Giving the President unfettered discretion and unlimited powers, I think is open to abuse, and we need to look seriously into this clause to make sure that it's not used against the very people that it intend to protect. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I so submit.
So, you heard it from the honorable members. I mean, they're not taking it smiling. This is one thing that affects everybody, and they have loaned their voices and asked the government to, in the words of Chief Zebudaya, jailbreak on the matter. Well, away from the Green Chambers to another development that was very loud in the last 24 hours. The fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ordered the immediate transformation of Nok University, Kachia, into a Federal University of Applied Science following a Federal High Court ruling that led to the final forfeiture of the institution to the federal government. Now, the formal handover of the university's asset to the government took place at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, where Vice President Kashim Shettima described the move as a demonstration of the administration's commitment to national development and inclusivity. Now, Vice President Kashim Shettima assured that the newly established Federal University of Applied Science, Kachia, would begin academic operations immediately, with provisions to be made for its inclusion in the 2025 federal budget, and plans to admit its first students by September of 2025. Now, he also reiterated the government's commitment to infrastructural development in southern Kaduna, highlighting the ongoing road construction efforts led by Governor Uba Sani. Now, Uba Sani hailed the development on his part as a historic milestone, thanking President Tinubu for making it a reality. He also commended Vice President Kashim Shettima for his unwavering support in advancing the project. Senator Sunday Katung, who had initially sponsored the bill for the university's establishment, expressed gratitude to the president, emphasizing the long-awaited benefits the institution would bring to the people of southern Kaduna. Now, the move is seen as part of President Tinubu's broader efforts to expand educational opportunities and improve regional development in southern Kaduna and, of course, across Nigeria. We'll take a quick breather, take a few messages, and when we return, of course, it's time to talk the tax reform bill right here on Korero. Do stay with us.
Time is power. Our lives are powered by the sun. As the sun rises, so do we. As we trust it to rise and set without any worries interrupting your morning. With our hybrid all-in-one inverter, powering our prosperity and happiness. But also nurture what is dear to us, powering trust and support, empowering us to do things that really matters. Star Times Solar, power your life.
Magic has hit your imagination of TV. A brand new sundial with StarTime's inbuilt technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTime's antenna and satellite signal. StarTimes Sundial TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update. More benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Sundial TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
From the heart of Africa, where dreams are born and passion is boundless, a new wave of talent rises. In La Liga, these extraordinary athletes are not just playing the game, they're transforming.
Chasing, it's Lamine Yamal. What a magnificent goal that is!
They shine on the world stage. Watch as they redefine football, inspire millions, and make history. La Liga, where dreams become reality.
Rise and shine with Rapid Dawn, your essential morning companion only on Rapid TV.
Start your day with us. We bring you the latest news, engaging discussions, and a fresh perspective on issues that matter.
From weather updates to our wellness tip, interesting recipes, and our trendy conversations every Tuesday to the weirdest of talks on Wednesday, Rapid Dawn has got you covered. So grab a coffee and join us every weekday morning on Rapid Dawn. Let's greet the day together.
Rapid Dawn, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. only on Rapid TV. Join us and wake to the dawn of a new day. See you in the morning.
My name is also.
My name is Ima Ehumadu, aka La Vista.
My name is DK, aka Mama Chinedu.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
You are watching Rapid TV.
Shout out to Rapid TV.
Hey, Rapid TV, Korero.
The biggest, the finest, the only Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Yes, keep watching.
Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
This is me giving a rapid response to Rapid TV.
Thanks for staying with us. And if you just tuned in, well, this is still Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. Of course, I am Kamian John, the beloved, also known as the controversial. And today on the show, we are bringing you up to speed with major developments that made the rounds in the last 24 hours and thereabout, with our main focus this morning on the tax reform bills, which the House of Representatives passed for second reading. And don't forget, the show is live and interactive on all our social media platforms. In fact, we are streaming live on our website, www.rbnradiotv.com. So, as always, do what you have to do. Engage with us online and be part of our growing online community simply by following Rapid TV on all our social media platforms. And remember, we are at official Rapid TV. And you can also reach us via our WhatsApp portal with the number 0916-771-6035. Now, back to the subject matter of today. The House of Representatives yesterday, Wednesday, passed for second reading the 4 tax reform bills submitted by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly without any opposition by members. Now, the bills included the National Revenue Service Establishment Bill, the Nigerian Tax Bill, the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, and of course, the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. Now, the 4 bills were read for the first time on the 8th of October 2024. But debate on the bills had been held back in the House due to the disagreements by members on the content of the tax administration bill following objections by northern leaders and the Nigerian Governors Forum. Now, although the House engaged government officials on the benefits of the bill, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin asked members to engage in wider consultations with their constituencies before the debate on the bills. Now, before the debate on Wednesday, the 4 bills were consolidated into one by the House for the debate. Now, apart from some observations on certain areas of the 3 bills that tend to conflict with some sections of the Constitution and a few other clauses in the 4 bills, members unanimously spoke in favor of the passage of the bill for a second reading. Minority Leader of the House, Kingsley Chinda, who appeared to be speaking the mind of minorities, said while they support the spirit behind the 4 bills, they have issues with some of the letters of the proposed laws. Now, Honorable Chinda said the bill seeks to rejig the nation's tax system for effective revenue generation, adding that for every law, there is the spirit of the letters. Now, he advocated the reduction in the value-added tax, VAT, saying it is possible to reduce tax, while efforts should be made to tidy up all areas of conflict. Let's hear Honorable Chinda.
Of the law. I think that we're in agreement that these bills, the spirit behind them, are good for us as a nation. But we have issues with some of the letters of the law. And these issues we have highlighted here. And I want to adopt All the highlights thrown by my colleagues, I would not want to repeat them. Safe to say or emphasize on a few areas. We have incremental tax contained in the tax administration law, which is actually the one that appears to be contentious amongst the four. The question one will ask, rather than have tax increase, is it impossible for us to have a decrease of tax? And the answer is no. From all the indices we have seen from the government, including indices that has to do with reduction of inflation, we can have decremental VAT in this bill. And so I want to support Honorable Dasuki that we should look at reduction of VAT. It is possible. Aside that, all the other issues, both the issues of conflict with the Constitution and other laws, and then the issues of ambiguity, I believe that we can tidy them up. One good thing is that innovation is coming. It could be difficult, but it is desirable. And so whilst we oppose some of the letters of the law, we support the spirit of the law in toto. And as parliamentarians, we know the stage at which we can attack those letters and correct them. And we want to assure Nigerians that as we stand as members of this parliament, that those letters, we will monitor them as watchdogs and ensure that the letters are corrected as we have promised. I would therefore say that generally we support this bill, that we put the vote. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, since we all agree with the spirit and intent of the bills, I will pray that we support the second reading of this bill. Please. At the appropriate time, we dot the I's and cross the T's. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful.
Now, leading the debate on the bills, House Leader Professor Julius Ivavore commended the President for having the courage to institute the bills that address and reform the nation's tax laws with a view to, among other things, address issues of multiple taxation, multiple revenue collection, and diversity or diversifying the economy. Let's hear from the minority leader.
Ascended to by the President himself, and that has calmed the nerves of everybody in all parts of the country. For those who have not seen the statements of the governors, let me spend 2-3 minutes on that. First, they reiterated, I'm using their word, their strong support for the comprehensive reform of the tax system to enhance fiscal stability and be in step with global best practices. Words of our governors. 2, they reviewed the VAT sharing formula to 50% equity, 30% derivation, and 20% population. This has also been accepted. They also said there should be no increase in the VAT rate. Also accepted. No increase in corporate income tax, the CIT, also accepted. Continued exemption of essential goods and agricultural produce from VAT to safeguard the welfare of Nigerian citizens. This has also been accepted. No terminal clause for Tedford. This has also been accepted. No terminal clause for Naseni, also accepted. No terminal clause for NITDA, also accepted. And this is the last paragraph in the statement of the governors, and I quote, the meeting supports the continuation of the legislative process at the National Assembly that will culminate in the eventual passage of the tax reform bills, unquote. This is the Nigerian Governors Forum. So what we're doing here is not only an affirmation of what they believe in, but it's a continuation of what we started earlier, which is what we believe in as part of our own duty. My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, a time comes in the history of every nation, community, of people, when they must pause to look behind, see where they are coming from, what mistakes they have made, what obstacles they have encountered, how they fought battles, and how they won and those that they lost. Review their present and map out a future for themselves. And that future must be better than the present, otherwise they have been wasting their time. And leaders who are responsible for not mapping out a better future, when the history of that community
Honorable members, of course, adding their contributions and positions with regards to the tax reform bills. And of course, from all indications, the bill is now going for second reading. While appreciating those who held opposing views to the bills, the House leader said that the opposing view helped to strengthen the bills which aim to overhaul the tax system in the country as the oldest tax system in the world. So, we are definitely at the juncture of history. And by the time the bill goes through second reading, as usual, we'll do our bit to keep you updated and bring the issues, as it were, to the front table, or the front burner, as we like to call it. Anyway, to wrap up today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero, I would like to share with you the words of a forwarding expert, a freight forwarding expert, Dr. Oluwasegun Musa, who has seriously criticized the policy of the tax reforms of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu led administration and its revenue drive agenda, saying that it is only a government that cannot task its brain that tax the pocket of the individuals. Strong words, you would say. Well, Dr. Oluwasegun also posted that the government lacks the foundation to attain its targeted 1 trillion naira economy. The maritime magnates reasoned that the 1 trillion naira economy target pronouncement by the federal government is a mere political statement. Of course, some economists would disagree. We have on this show presented the position of one of my very good friends, renowned economist, Dr. Emeka Nwaneri, who has said that a $1 trillion economy, a $1 trillion naira economy is very possible if this current administration looks in the right places and does the right things. So it is possible. Well, Dr. Musa emphasized that the government must change the dynamics of its economy to attain its set target, which is not different from the position or the posture of the likes of Dr. Nnameka Nwaneri. And Dr. Musa stressed that the government is killing the economy rather than developing it, while commenting on the single window revenue generation policy of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS. The astute freight forwarder said the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, handling the project lacks the required integrity. He hoped that the project would have best been handled by a committee of state and non-state actors with maximum integrity to superintend over it for best results. So there is a whole lot of back and forth as far as stakeholders are concerned, continually x-raying different angles and perspectives of the proposed tax reform bills. Some are for and some are against. I know the reactions of most Nigerians will be, we're not surprised, especially as the bills have been passed for second reading, and of course listening to the various positions of the honorable members of the Green Chamber. But anyway, as always, right here on Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero, we will do our bit of keeping our searchlight beamed on developments and, of course, bringing them to the front burner as they evolve and unravel what the various positions are, with the hope that we can come to an agreement on a workable solutions that will truly deliver the dividends of democracy for every Nigerian. Well, that sums it up for today's edition of the show. Special thanks to you for, as always, for allowing us be a part of your day and your morning. And trust us, as always, to be here tomorrow with another incisive edition of the show. I'm still dabbling with the thought of what a Valentine's edition of Korero might look like. But you never know. Anything, just absolutely anything, could happen on the show. I am Nkamian John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out.